we're going to work on knee strikes. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a proper knee strike. I'm going to show you how to do it, but before you even strike anything, because I think we need to have proper technique before we start, kneeing Bob and boards and all that stuff. So I'm going to start off with that. Then we're going to drag Bob out. I'm going to show you some areas for self defense where you should grab, and even in forms, your katas, pumses, you'll you will have knee strikes along with elbows, strikes, hand strikes, kicks, all that stuff. Knees are part of your forms as well. So I'm going to break it down so you guys have a nice, solid foundation of a good knee strike. So you can get an understanding of it. And then if you are a martial artist, then your instructor won't have such a hard time trying to explain it or whatever. You'll just get it, and then you can go on from there. All right. So sit back, relax. Let's get to it. So first one, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the proper way of doing a knee strike. Now with the knee strike, we are going to be concentrating not on the knee itself, which if you hit something soft, that'll be okay. The knee won't get damaged that much, but just like your toes and your fingers and knuckles, your knees can get bruised very bad. And I've got my knees bruised from boards and pads, even body shields, hitting in the wrong spot when I was a color belt, and I had to learn to and of course it's right behind the knee. Okay, so it's not the knee point; it's right behind it, right where that muscle is on your thigh. Okay, that's the point. If you're coming in, grabbing something from behind with like self defense, bring them down. Bam. Okay, you're hitting not with the point of the knee, but behind the knee. Now the knee will be effective if it is in the face, because you will get bruised, but with the self defense situation, you are going to get a little bit cut up and bruised, and that's just part of the game there. All right. Okay. So next point I want to show you is what's going to be happening on your foot. So I'm going to need a wall for this to show you guys, so I can balance on that, and hopefully you guys can see where I'm at here. So I'm just going to get up against the wall, and you guys can too. If your balance isn't quite there yet, then go ahead and just grab a wall and just kind of hold it there so you can get this down. So here's the technique. Okay, so with all leg techniques, you still want to have that pivot. Okay, so that's with your opposite foot. That's with your opposite foot round kicks. You want that pivot in everything so you can open those hips up correctly. Okay, and you want to be on the balls of your feet when you're turning that pivot. You don't want to get in the habit of turning on your heel and spinning. You want the ball of your foot and spin, and then plant, and then kick. Same thing with the knee. Okay, you'll need a little bit of a pivot so you can get that, so your hips will line up through the target. Okay, so just keep that in mind. With this, you go ahead and grab yourself a wall. Now, when we're doing this, we want to have a nice tight chamber in our knee. Okay, that means try to get your heel up to your butt. Okay, as tight as you can. It takes a little bit of muscle mass, so you're gonna have to maybe work on that a little bit, but just kind of keep in mind that it has to be tight right in here for a good solid knee strike. Okay, now with the ankle, you're going to want to point that toe down. Okay, so it has a nice straight line so you don't get snagged in people's feet, people's legs. Board break, holders. If you come up with the knee, they might have their knee or whatever right in your path of striking. So good rule of thumb is point that foot down so it's nice and straight all the way down, so your foot doesn't get snagged on anything. Okay, and remember, both sides of your feet. Okay, or both legs, you should work this because knees are a very good technique to have. Okay, let's drag Bob out. Oh. Okay, before we get to Bob, I've got one thing. I'm going to show you how to do it down the floor. Now, if you're training at home, and I've done this myself too in my bedroom back in the day. If you just have 1 or 2, 3 steps, that'll be perfect. You don't need anything more than to just do some floor drills, is what we call them. So when we do this, just what we do is just getting a good sparring stance. Remember, balls of your toes nice and loose, hands always up. And then back foot will always go first, just down the floor. So we're going to come up, knee, and then down. And then other knee, and then down. And then other knee, and then down. If you see it, let me go this way. So if you see this, okay, I do pivot that foot so I can straighten out my hips so I can get that knee. And then look at something across the room, find a target so you can get that nice angle in there. And then for forms and self-defense, then I'm going to show you a move that I'm going to show you on Bob here in a minute. Let me do Bob first, and then I'll show you the drill. Okay, so the majority of knee strikes are going to be, your close quarters. You guys have already crossed into each other's bubbles. You're kind of tight. Your arms are bound up. Here you want to lock your hands around the back of the neck, and then try to squeeze your elbows together. Okay. If you ever try this, you can roll around a 200, 300-pound dude with no problem. Kinking his neck, in his hips. You could drag them around like it's no problem. So this is a very good technique. So here, want to grab, and it gives you kind of a good lock in between his shoulders, and then you're down, and then you just come up. Bam! You can get right in the shoulder plex, right in that spot where the ribs meet on either side. Sensitive spot right there. Come here, boom, get that one. And then what you can do too is you can drag it back, boom, and then of course that head shot as well. And this is a move that I'm going to show you here. Let me move Bob out of the way. Down the floor, what you can do is hands up like this, and then you go ahead and visualize grabbing, boom, and then smacking. Then grabbing, boom, and then smacking. Then grabbing, boom, and then smacking. Okay, and that's all. That's what it is you just want to grab, and then bring his or her body to your knee, and then just let go, and then just let the body kind of fly back. Pad work. We've done a lot of this with body shields. That one in the back. Someone just grabs the neck, and then you have it here, and just like boom. I've seen people like get lifted off the ground and thrown back a little bit. So it's a very effective one there. Now I'm going to show you a second one. And this one's coming from grabbing the side of the neck, or let me come over here so I can show you the proper way on someone here. So it's here. Back of the neck seems to be the more you have the most grip, but I have seen some, grabbing a jacket, grabbing a, some clothing, something like that, and just pulling down. Now what I'm going to show is, this is another knee strike, but it's more of coming around knee strike. So it's not straight up in front of you. It's coming around, boom, and then hitting that way. And then this might be, if there is something in your way, if you're fighting over a bench, someone's on this side of the bench, you're on the other side. Okay, this one's not going to be very effective because you're going to rack your knee up on the bench coming up. So you can come up this way, go around the bench. Here, I'll even show it to you right here. So the chair, let me do it this way. So the chair, okay, that's not going to work this way, okay? But what you can do is you can come up this way and come around it, boom, and then knock it this way, bam, just like that, okay? So this one, coming around, boom, boom. That, I mean, I think I like that one better. I've always enjoyed the round one because it feels like I get a little bit more power. It's just the same thing as the round kick. You're just not doing the round kick. You're keeping that foot into it or that leg into a chamber and then kneeing instead of that round kick. So same application. You're just cutting the round kick off halfway, and you're going to use your knee, that meaty part of the knee right behind the knee, that on your thigh, and it's effective. I mean, it's a very good technique, and yeah, once you do it down the floor and get the, go slow with it. There's no reason to go fast. I don't think it'll take that long to work because it is a pretty easy deal. Just one thing to remember: if you have a mirror and you can kind of knee strike in the mirror, look at something on, like your midsection in the mirror, and then make sure that knee hits there. Because really, now I'm going to get a little technical here. Now, if you keep your hips straight, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to turn your knee this way to get it in the middle. Because if you just bring it up this way, you're going to miss, and I mean, get the target here, board breaks, or even just forms, because we're looking at proper technique as well. And if the technique is off the side a little bit, you did the move, but it was off the target, then we're docking some points on, and you might not pass your belt ranking. If you're competing, same thing. We're looking for technique. And if that technique is over here, you did it, but it's off target, points deducted, and you might lose that match. So make sure that you get that pivot and then point those hips so your knee comes straight up. Same thing with the punch. Remember, you don't want to punch straight out. You want to punch, okay, you want to bring it in, then that means it's going to kind of you have to move your fist that way. Same thing with the knee. You have to move that knee to your target, but if you open those hips up and pivot, then that target should be there every single time. All right? So I don't think I missed anything. If you like this one, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, share it, like it, do all that kind of fun stuff. Until next time, train hard, train smart. See you in the next one.